Psalm 119 verse 4 tells us that God has given us his orders or his commands in order for us to obey them. I think in American history, the church in American history is at an unprecedented time of knowing that God says this about that, and we have decided to just pick and choose. So I want to talk to you today about why should I do what God says I should do, and why should I not do what God says I shouldn't do? Two reasons mainly. The first one is God's truth never changes. The world we live in changes from age to age, from day to day, from week to week, but God's truth you can count on year after year, decade after decade, century after century, millennium after millennium. God's word actually says that God never changes. What's true for people 200 years ago is still true for people today, and that gives us a sense of stability and steadiness in a world of craziness. The second thing is that God's perspective is bigger, and he has a higher perspective, and he can see the bigger span of life. It's so difficult for us sometimes to see right past the moment that we live in. And Satan has always, since our great-great-grandma and grandpa in the garden, Adam and Eve, Satan has always approached mankind to trip them up with the same tool, and that is to doubt what God says about our life. And so when you're having trouble with doubt, or maybe you can't see past your current moment, remember these two things. God's truth never changes, and his perspective is bigger than ours. And if we obey him, he will give us a life that is better than what we can get living life outside of his commands. We'll see you next time.